I hope I cannot get in jail because of this, but that was a pirated copy of Doom. And I said, Malta, you need to tell John Romero that I owe him $30 because I remember the Doom was $60 back then. It's like, okay, at 34, John Romero, 34 Carmack, probably, right? I mean, so I was like, you need to tell him that I owe him $30. And one day, correct me if I'm wrong, Malta, about near Christmas,
Yes, it was Christmas.
a box comes to my home from Malta, and what I receive is this. Basically, I don't know if you know if it can be seen, but
That's
this
so
is
cool.
John Romero's signature that says,
Yeah.
"I owe you, you owe me $30," and the signature of John Romero. So I was like, so he knows.
Yeah. That's great. I mean, like, you guys are touching on a bunch of different points here that I want to kind of mention. Um, like in this period, right? What your games, Project Grail, really stuck out to me is there is kind of like I would call kind of this period the nostalgia period, right? There's a lot of remakes going on. Metal Gear just came out. I I caved. I had to buy it, even though I know Kojima's not attached. I was like, I got to play this. But then, uh, there are uh, more callbacks to simpler times, like I mentioned before at the beginning of the episode. Your the style and the retro gaming is really coming back in a big way, right? In this period, and not just that, the development teams that you guys are representing, where like John Carmack and John Romero, right, back in those good old days, where it was just smaller team, quicker development. Let's do what we can, time box this, right? 2-3 year development if we can, which is kind of like the sweet spot for, I think, when the game industry was healthy, right? Where it was manageable and communication was better. And I think every soul counted in a way, right? Everyone is voice is heard when they're brainstorming and working, and you see feedback and you feel really a part of the team. And even though we all have a background in AAA, and there are great things about AAA, and I don't think it should ever disappear. I think we can all agree that is this overcorrection is too much, right? Hopefully, we bring back that part of the industry very soon, and maybe a couple years. But it also is lending or paving the road for this type of development to come back to remind uh, game developers the passion of making games, which I think is in danger right now. I think a lot of game developers are very down for good reason, and the passion is kind of like dwindling in a crazy time like this. So my question uh, after that intro right there is to ask you guys, in a time where it does feel impossible, right, to ship anything, right? There's just so much uncertainty. Uh, what did you guys employ here to make grinding on side projects work? I mean, you guys have full-time gigs. You guys are obviously doing this into the midnight, 2 years straight, right? Maybe past midnight in a lot of the cases, just grinding away. Uh, how did you guys cope with that? I mean, obviously, you guys have other things, uh, distracting you, kids, marriage, whatever, right? Girlfriends, whatever, right? And that is the kind of like the recurring theme when it comes to side project. It's just like you basically have to shut off everything for a little bit, right? Or there's phases of it. Would love you guys to kind of highlight some of those to make this work. Getting to alpha basically in 2 years. Who
Yeah,
wants to
that's
take
an
it?
interesting
You
question.
first, Malte. You
Yeah, I
first.
first. Okay. Yeah. So I can only speak for me personally, and I will let Rafino talk about like his experience about that. But for me personally, I'm a very structured guy, I'd say, because like leading a team or being like the associate art director with a team of 35 people, there's a lot lot of things to do, and I need to structure my days like properly to make sure that everybody gets like the same attention, like for feedback or for looking at things or even having meetings and things like that. And yeah, I had to build like a structure. I knew I wanted to push this project, and I wanted to at least one time in my life make a demo, release a demo of my own game. And I needed structure. So I came from a place where I have been like a starting artist, and I was horrible at dealing with time, managing my time, but it got better the more experience I got. So I started actually to track my times, to provide me like 1 or 2 hour to make like some beautiful artwork, and that's it. And I try to stick to those times. So you know your estimation, you know what you can do in those times. And this method actually helped me right now to, yeah, schedule my time.